Ruck taps. The Cats need to probably play man on man here. There's another one.
Holding free. Melbourne could have played onto advantage, but they do now. I'm not sure they wanted it. Bernie Vince gets them inside 50. Big fly. Howe. Umpires found something.
Yeah, Taylor gave a nudge.
Okay, so.
Good first quarter by Hattie.
Good year, good career.
Against him.
It has, and this is a chance for Alex Neal-Bullen to kick his first ever goal on AFL footy.
Yeah, mismatch. 182 centimetres, Alex Neal-Bullen, playing on Harry Taylor, who'd be about 195.
From the same club as Corey Gregson, a Glenelg boy. Second game for him. Biggest moment of his career, and act like you've done it before, son.
Great kick.
First goal for him.
It's good effort, wasn't it? He got pushed out of the ball early, out of the way earlier on when Harry Taylor took a mark. Harry's done it again there, but this time got caught for a free kick. We'll go down to Kingy. What do you got for us there, mate?
Just having a look at the ruck changes that Geelong are doing at the moment. You can see in the middle of the ground right now we've got Blitzarves who's going in as a ruck rover. Walker's doing the ruck, but then he's pushing forward instantly, and it's leaving Spencer, who's just come from the ground, in desperate need of some oxygen because he's running with Blitzarves and he can't quite get the job done. Now that's been handed over to Max Gawn. Let's see how it goes. What an asset it is, Jared, for the Geelong coach.
Yeah, it's worked really well at times this year and getting better and better as they come to understand each other. Just unfortunate Stanley out.
David King on the boundary line as Brayshaw sends Melbourne forward once again. A big leap by jumping Jeremy Howe. Watts at the back, couldn't take it. Don Tyson can and kicks the goal.
Well, centre clearances is a major issue for Chris Scott right now. They're being absolutely slaughtered in the Cats. It's 4-0, and it's the quality of the execution out of the centre. They're getting unpressured kicks. There was the big jump. Nice inside move from Jack, and just gets it forward.
And it's dangerous as well, Jerry. You notice the Melbourne forwards are actually huddling together. They're getting well off the front of the centre square, so there is room for the Melbourne midfielders to run out of that centre square, but they're certainly working really well together, the Melbourne forwards. They're causing a few problems for the Geelong defence.
He'll go short towards Lumumba. He has to beat a couple here. He's beaten one, he's beaten two, and he's away. Kicks long. This is dangerous for the Cats. The Demons have got the numbers here. Call to go was Garlett. He does. He goes short to Jones. Jones goes in towards full forward, and one step he did play on. But they will convert the goal. Well done by Melbourne. That is Neal-Bullen's second goal, and Scratcher is on fire here at the Cattery.
And Melbourne, he was obviously he got the reward there at the end. But Lumumba, he ran along the wing nicely. He just have a look at this for a run, takes it on.
That should have been a tackle, though. You can't let those tackles be broken. And Shane Kirsten will, I think, have that addressed maybe a quarter time. But this is just a good passage of play by the Demons.
Yeah, it was good. They do slingshot well. They like to get all their numbers up around the footy, put the pressure on the opposition. When they attack off half back, they can hurt you, Melbourne, because they do get slingshot. They have got some speed running forward of the ball. Good setup.
Gives it back towards Cross. And Melbourne out of trouble. Tumpas starting well again this week. Up towards Gawn. Couldn't complete the mark. They surge it forward, however. This is going to be another one to the Demons. They are streaming in towards goal. That's another one on the board, and they are surging clear. Jones has got it, not Nathan, that's Matt. And he's got his first. 4-2 plays two straight. And early problems in this game for Chris Scott.
And a lot of concerns, Sandy, and justifiably so. They're getting beaten around the ball. Their contested footy numbers are well down.
That's good by Jack Watts. He came up as a half forward. He came up, put some pressure on. And this is what Melbourne are doing. They're getting a lot of numbers up around the contest, a lot of support where the ball is, and then they're taking off forward of the ball. You can see a nice little turnout there by Garlett. We're able to come along there and just finish off nicely. So Melbourne's getting behind the Geelong defence because the Geelong defenders are getting sucked up close to the contest. And Melbourne are able to get it over the top.
Not going to plan for the Cats, but for Melbourne, great early momentum away from home. It's a hostile ground here for the Demons. They've lost their last 10 against Geelong, and they're inside 50 again. Gawn's down there, and he stole it, Gawn.
They've just been harder at it at the present time. Demons have just been much harder at the contested ball.
Andrew Mackie thought he might have... Sorry, not Andrew Mackie. Jared Rivers thought he might have grabbed that.
He's had a little piece of it.
Up until you.
No, that's a mark, I think, the Gawn.
15 seconds.
Just one kick and 15 handballs last week for Max Gawn, so kicking's not his forte necessarily, but gee, that looked good off the boot. That was never in doubt. High fives all round.
Well, what a turn-up, boys. This is unbelievable.
Don't mention the milestone curse just yet.
Well, it's a big gap, though, isn't it? 20 points, and all the parameters that Chris Scott would like in his favour are in the negative. Paul Roos is looking for something, I think, something tangible to show that they've improved. They've been questioned about it during the week. A performance like this, if they can maintain this form for 4 quarters, is exactly what he'd like at the midway point of the season.
And it hyperextended.
He's Gawn. It's the hand pass away. Jones now. Centering ball. Oh, here's trouble. Bernie Vince at the back of the pack. All alone, and he snaps truly. And Bernie Vince gets his first goal, and Melbourne get their 6th.
Just having a look at one of the real impact players the D's have had out there today. It's the young star, picked 3 in last year's draft, Angus Brayshaw, who's been involved in everything. He's coming from the ground at the moment. He's absolutely spent. He's had 4 or 5 efforts this quarter, which have been all guts and grit. He knew what was coming here. He knew Enright was coming. Saw him out of the corner of the eye, took the tackle anyway. Got up 15 seconds later, was involved in this passenger play where he won himself a free kick for Sheely being tougher than his Geelong counterparts. When he doesn't have the ball, he stays involved. He uses his speed.
The free kick was probably there, but they should also be filthy that Kirsten dropped the mark.
Yeah. Well, he's 7 games for 7 goals so far, Kirsten, this year. So as a full forward, he's not getting big returns. Lumumba long. Mackie to try and pick it up. He doesn't go up in the end. Mackie stayed down, maybe to his detriment. Viney hooked it too far. Goal line, kept alive. Garlett, slippery as ever, brilliant as ever.
Jeremy Howe's goal, that one. It was such a great spoil. Came in there, it was going to be in a 2-on-1 contest by Howe. Was able to get the ball to ground, bring Garlett into the contest, and once he's around goal like that, he's able to finish really well, regularly.
Geez, it's a much better looking Melbourne because they're holding their forward line. They're getting the ball in there. There's the Kirsten mark. Free kick either way. Perhaps Cross grabbed his arm. He may be able to have a double blue, but if the umpires are consistent, that one should have been pushing the back. And the Cats just confused themselves. A couple of inexperienced players didn't know which one was going for the ball. They kept it in play. And Jeppy has finally got himself a goal.
Looking forward to that contest in the second half. Viney's been good on solid so far.
Poor kick, and look at Brayshaw. Storm through the middle. One bounce. Long and low towards Big Max. Thank you very much. No, it's Spencer. It's Co-Big Man.
This is really important, Sandy, that the big guys can go forward and take a mark. The 2 genuine ruckmen over 200 centimetres in Gawn and Spencer, but they've been able to take marks in the forward line today. Yeah, that's where they bring real value to the side.
If Gawn doesn't get you, Spencer will. And that has happened today. He's directly in front to regain the lead for Melbourne, and he does. Spencer gets his first.
But the big news for Melbourne was the intercept across that half-back line. Angus Brayshaw, he read it best. It was a horrible kick, not sure where it was going.
He outread 2 really experienced players.
He did. There's the kick. I'm not sure where Joel was heading it to, whether it was a long kick or sometimes players who lead change the direction at the wrong time. But he just outread it, he read it magnificently. And Spencer has not let them down with his shot at goal. You can just see there on the commentator cam the movement of Spencer. He did well.
It's really good.
So thrown up. Melbourne still threatening. Tumpus again. He had a blinder of a 3rd quarter last week. Can he emulate that feat? And there's a goal. Matty Jones has kicked another one. Or is it going to be reviewed? He may think this has touched the post. We'll have to wait and see.
I believe it's a goal. Just want to make sure it wasn't touched before it crossed the line.
So a review.
Umpire's call is a goal. Please check the ball wasn't touched before it crossed the line.
initial look at that, looks like it'll stay a goal. But
certainly no protesting from Geelong or...
No. There's our man Corey Enright. He certainly didn't go back and protest. So if a 300 gamer's not going to go back and protest.
Confirmed goal.
It is a goal. Jones gets his second. He got it one in the first quarter at that end of the ground. And once again, Melbourne sneak away. 9-3 plays 7-4.
A pretty good contest between Jones has been Enright's man for most of the day. Probably playing as a defensive forward type role. So he's able to get his second goal there. So
on the back of a horrible mistake, though. I mean, these handballs just aren't going to plan. Good pressure once again from the Melbourne forward line.
Done to bring it back into play. Getting onto a talk. And getting onto a beauty. Try that one, Maxi. Well, he used a fist. Down towards Nate Jones. Jones off to Viney. Onto the little left foot with a chip. It's going to drop short. Dawes did well to get it away. Towards Tyson. Now to full forward. Danger lurks in the form of Garlett. Melbourne are stunning this crowd. And they're stunning the Geelong players.
Yeah, they are, Sandy. They're making some quick moves off half-back, and that was set up. Lyndon Dunn with the big torp. How good was this? It's travelled 70 metres. He connected beautifully. I thought it was going to land in the commentary box, Jared.
That's the best torp of the year so far.
Yeah.
And let's hope we see more of them. I'm told they're actually been taken out of the AFL skill handbook to torpedo. Bring it back, Sandy, because it should never be lost to the game. And we just saw just how damaging it can be when you get it over the pack and into some open space. And Jeppy Garlett, excellent finish, retaliating.
Thank you, Jared. Dawes up towards the 50. Watts in front of the pack. Well, he hit it in hope. And you know what? He's found a target in the form of Garlett, who's kicked it third.
Well, he's been floating out the back almost as if it's an instruction. Just get it. You'll know that Jeppy Garlett is going to be running hard forward. And he's had a couple of goals kicked on him, Lyndon Dunn, but geez, he's played a good game.
Harry Taylor floats in Hughes with a big fly. Brayshaw, he just knows where it's going. Kicks inside 50. He reads it so well. Gawn gets there, run down by Rivers. Turnover. Kick around the body looks pretty good. Kick around the body looks awesome. 3 goals for Neal-Bullen. In his second game, either this kid can play or he's having a Matthew Dellavedova moment. He may be the goods.
Well, he is the goods on today's performance, that's for sure. Really big fly there by the Geelong defenders, but again, going back towards goal, they've been able to create a few of these options. The Melbourne forwards have been really good at getting the ball to ground and bringing guys like Neal-Bullen into it. Also, Garlett, they've been able to create a few snapshots and goals. It's been set up by the big man. Nice finish as well.
Scratcher having quite a day at the Cattery.
Jones, the usual suspects. Stretch goes back, Dunn to Stretch. They might have the last say of the quarter. Goes wide. Hey, there's the clutch of Jeremy Howe.
It's about the same spot, same angle as that goal he kicked that Eddie had last week.
I dare say they get numbers back, Jared, if he kicks this.
Yeah, well, at the same time on the clock, but a different quarter, of course.
It's interesting too, Geelong are trying to put a spare man behind the ball, but Melbourne just keep manning him up. I wonder if they try and get an extra couple of men behind the ball, but the problem is the defence has been sucked up the ground too far.
For an 11-point margin, it's coming back to send them to three-quarter time in silence.
Well, what a fantastic shot at goal. Off the back of an unfortunate skill error, and that's all it was. The decision was okay. It was just half a metre. I think it was behind Mackie, but they left the ball behind, left themselves exposed. And then Jeremy Howe has just nailed an absolute cracker.
All set up by that poor handball in the middle.
It was.
It's amazing.
It's been a good move putting him back forward. Really jumps to the ball. Creates something different to the Melbourne forward line. You know, if you kick the ball in long, that he's able to sit on top of a big pack. He's a nice shot at goal, as we can just see there.
And
To start somewhere, maybe it's today.
And maybe it's right now. Blitzarves doing the ruck work. Selwood claimed by Viney, dropped the footy. It's been a pivotal duel, that one. Watts runs a fair distance before giving it to Lumumba. First goal absolutely vital here towards Gawn. He had to beat a couple and he couldn't do that. Dawes with strength and skill gives it to Jones. Nate Jones shrugs one tackle, steadies, shoots and goals. What a start by the Demons.
Well, that's one way of doing it. Fantastic work by
How good's this bloke?
Jones coming with the finish, but the Dawes break and handball was the magic there. That's what set it up.
Yeah, he's been terrific. Well done there, Jones. Had a lot of contested footies, had over 30 possessions as well. Captain Courageous, he's led from the front. A little bit
By Geelong, but they're having trouble moving it forward. Watts combines with Cross. Cross comes wide. They've got an opportunity now. Here's Stretch.
Well, the Melbourne midfield right on top at the moment, and gee, they've got some hard-as-nails players in there. Viney got that ball going, just led with his head and just pushed it forward. They've got Angus Brayshaw and Nathan Jones, all pretty hard at it, who are winning contested ball. And Jack Watts has also had a very good game this afternoon.
Jeremy Howe kicked a sensational goal just before the three-quarter time siren at the other end. Is he going to emulate that feat? Yes, he has at this end of the ground. Howe has 2 vital goals, and Melbourne have kicked clear to lead by 14 points, 12 points.
And it is the biggest upset brewing of the year, I believe, Jared. Especially after that kick. Melbourne by 20-odd points now.
22, I'm going.
22 points. We're only early in this last quarter.
My abacus is broken.
But the work around the stoppage has been really good. This is a nice little build-up. And young Stretch has been pretty good today.
Good attack on the ball there by Aidan Riley. They're really fighting hard for this 4 points.
Tyson inside, stretches. Billy Stretch, 18 years of age. And boys, there's some Glenelg representation from kids in this game. You got Neal-Bullen, Billy Stretch, Jordan Murdoch, Corey Gregson, throwing Andrew Mackey if you're talking about Glenelg players just in this game alone. And he lines up with one of the biggest kicks of his life. The Cats are at breaking strain. How cool was that kick?
Great work. Great finish by the young fella. He's been pretty impressive today. A couple of the young fellas have been really good in front of goal. I really started thinking, look at this stoppage now. Geelong have got a lot of numbers around the stoppage. They're starting to get desperate here, whereas Melbourne are holding their width, holding their structure around their forward line. So there's a lot of free players for Melbourne there, and that's created by really Geelong's desperation. They're all trying to get in around the contest, getting sucked in too tight to win the ball. You've got 3 Melbourne players inside their own 50.
That was a good conversion, but Tyson's left foot bullet was magic.
He's like an axe. He just chops players in half when he hits it.
Gawn against Blitzarves. Riley, he's given them something to sub. Vince, sidestep was good. Kick was splendid. Kick was outstanding. Colin Jasny touched it just over the line. Goal stands. And Cats are down on the canvas and might not be able to get up from here.
They had a big game as Bernie Vincent. Let's just hope that this vision is replayed to every skills coach in the country. This is why you have to learn to kick on both sides of your feet. You can't do boomerangs from here. You've got to get on your left foot and go bang. And that has sealed the victory you would expect.
Great kick. Bernie Vince, he's getting back to All-Australian form that he was in a few years ago.
Yeah, he's had a great year.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Oh, Melbourne have kicked 17 goals, 5 today, and that will end up being the difference in this game.
Tyson got his hands free. Another tackle that didn't stick. Lumumba inside 50. Garlett.
Great body work, Garlett.
Yes.
It's a good kick to advantage, but it still needed some magic on the end of it, and Garlett provided.
Been pretty good today, lining up for his 4th.
Silence again. It's a 19-point margin. He can make it 25 points with 5 minutes left.
Well, this would be the nail in the coffin the final nail, I would have thought. You can kick this.
Strikes it pretty well. Dagger to the heart.
Yeah.
Well, I reckon when you're going into the bye there and you've had a hell of a start to the season and then a couple of shockers in the last 2 weeks, you're entitled to celebrate. And they're virtually away.
Yeah. It certainly hasn't been a couple of shockers in terms of the way they've played throughout the games. Against Collingwood 2 weeks ago, they were very good. They kicked 5 or 6 goals in a row on a big stage. The Queen's birthday.
Savage loss.
Savage loss. Came out last week. Should have won the game. Obviously, they didn't get numbers behind the ball. When
Demon fans cheering behind the goals. Nathan Jones straight into the air. Marked by Stokes, but it'll all to be for no avail. Enright might have the last kick in his 300th game. But this wasn't the script. Melbourne came here, wrote their own script. Turned a love story into a horror show. But they've broken the drought away from home, the Demons. A 24-point win at Simmons Stadium after the Cats had won the last 10 in a row against Melbourne.
Maxi Gawn, how good was he today? He'd definitely get the 3 votes, I would have thought, Jared.
He was so influential, wasn't he? And it's a great performance by Max, but now he's raised the bar. It gives him a reference point to aspire to.
Yeah, it does.
Well, a number of players were sensational today. Bernie Vince with 38 disposals, Jones 35, Viney 28. Lyndon Dunn was very good in defence. Let's go down to Kingy now, because I think he's got Bernie Vince with him. Kingy?
We've got Bernie in here. There's a bit happening at the moment. He's a bit excited. That was a fantastic win, mate. What a day.
Great win. We set ourselves and win today, apart from our playing room. Just wanted to really bounce back from disappointing last week. I thought we were outstanding in the last probably 5 or 10 minutes there in the last quarter. So, it was a good learning week last week. A lot of meetings and reviews, but that's why you do it, to win games like this.
Mate, you're in fantastic form yourself. 38 touches again today. You're an all-Australian form. I know you won't talk about yourself, but from a team point of view, everything worked for you today. And we talked about the Lyndon Dunn torpedo out of fullback. That even hit that flush, mate.
Yeah, I know. I love that.
We've measured that at 75 metres.
Got bloody.
He got bloody, you reckon?
As I said, we just love the contest, and we're doing things pretty well at the moment. So we just take it week by week, mate, and we love playing with each other, because a lot of these guys are going through a lot of pain over the last few years. So to have wins like this is outstanding.
Neal-Bullen, fantastic today.
Yeah.
Angus Brayshaw really stepped up again.
Mate, the young guys, the first-year players have been outstanding. From when they first came here pre-season, they've really set the standard for us. And Gus Brayshaw, the way he cracks in and tackles for a first-year player, he's played, 11, 12 games now. He's outstanding.
Get in there and enjoy it, mate.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
We've also got to promote the fact that the Melbourne Demons are a really good young side.
Let's go down to Kingy, because he got one of the heroes of the day, Kingy, Big Max.
He is a big man, Big Max. Another big day for you, mate. 6 contested marks. You really enjoyed it today.
Oh, it's just great. I mean, we haven't won it since 2005, and I was watching the game during the week on the Fox 40 and watching Robbo kick 7. It's great to come down here and get the chocolates.
Do you think like this is a breakout game for you? I mean, you've had fits and starts in your career so far. Do you think this is the one?
I've been in and out more, heaps, and my most is 4 games in a row, and next week will be my 4th, so hopefully I can get a good bit of footy going.
Great day today for the captain, and Bernie Vince was fantastic as well.
They're both super. I love tapping into them. They're always there. It's great.
Well, good on you, mate. Go and enjoy this one. Get that footy away, eh?
Thanks, mate.
He had a big day, didn't he?
He was terrific, Sandy, and he kicked his 1 goal, but to be 7 or 8 contested marks, he was terrific. Big part of why they were so dominant in the centre square clearances, especially in that first half. But went forward, was able to certainly bring the ball to ground, took some big marks around the ground. Also, his ground level play, he cracks in, he lays some tackles. He's pretty good below his knees, and he'll gain a lot of confidence out of that. It's always tough to play away on the road in a big milestone game for someone else. So I thought too, Paul Roos was fantastic. Paul Roos and the coaching staff and the game plan they did implement.
We saw Brendan McCartney walking off with Paul Roos. Obviously, he's been the Western Bulldogs coach. Before that, he here as an assistant coach, coaching guys like Corey Enright and co as an assistant coach. He knows them extremely well. And there was a little moment where Paul Roos gave him a cuddle, Brendan McCartney, and said, OK, we did our job OK today. And it was nice to see that moment.
Exactly right.
Well, just looking at the inside forward 50 numbers, Melbourne's the worst in the competition, averaging 41. Today they went in 53 times, and that gives them that opportunity to kick a winning score. They've got lots of good players and players that are playing well, but if you don't go forward and don't have targets inside forward 50, it's impossible to put that pressure on, and that was what was great about the start of the last quarter. They went forward. They kept their forward structures and personnel down there, and they just kept putting the pressure on the scoreboard.
They did, and they were terrific defensively as well, all across the ground. They knew that Geelong likes to move the ball fast off half-back. Geelong likes to get a spare number behind the contest. They did not allow that all day. Even if Geelong had 7 or 8 defenders, Melbourne players manned them up straight away. They manned the mark really well, so the Geelong players could not play on quickly, and they also got their numbers in around the centre corridor and blocked that off. So Geelong really couldn't get any flow apart from some centre stoppages in that second half.
Really interesting. Melbourne so far this season have struggled desperately, particularly with final quarters and third quarters. They kicked 7 straight in the third quarter today, and then went on and booted another 5 in the last.
They were a team on a mission. They were burned last week, and yet they've turned that pain and that anger into an on-field performance that will sustain them, I think, coming into the second half of the season. It's been some horror months for Melbourne, horror occasions for some of the players, but you can just see the energy they will take from singing this song that they'll belt out as well as they have for some years, I reckon, today down at the Cattery.
We've seen a few loud ones so far this weekend. Carlton's was unbelievable. I bet Melbourne's is going to be a ripper too. We can say that's sung with a fair amount of passion, perhaps a little bit of relief too, but well done. They've notched their 4th win of the season.